Hey there, my name is Moses, and I hope to give you the word on the effective capabilities of less lethal devices when measured against various possible scenarios. First, let's deal with the elephant in the room. The firearm is the superior self-defense weapon for all situations where you or your loved ones are threatened with serious bodily harm or death. Nothing else is close. That said, there are many situations where you could suffer bodily harm or loss of property where using a firearm could get you into serious criminal and possibly civil legal trouble. The appropriate less lethal device is in play against fists, clubs, and even knives under certain conditions. You never want to bring a less lethal to a gunfight, but there are some situations where even that is in the cards. We are going to go through each of the scenes shown in the pictures above. We will suggest the proper less lethal or combination of less lethals that could be used to defend oneself. If none exist, we will suggest you comply and hope for the best. One last thing before we get started. I will be suggesting which less lethal to use, but I will not go into detail about the category of less lethal unless the choice is pepper spray. We will cover stun guns, tasers, and launchers in later videos. Okay, let's get started. The first scene is the lonely walk to one's car late at night in a sparsely populated parking lot. If you are alert, it will be difficult for someone to cross a great distance to get to you before you can get to your car and drive away. You should have your key out and pepper spray in your hand. The danger is, someone could be lurking on the other side of your car, or they could possibly be in the car. The minimum second less lethal I would have would be a flashlight stun gun. I would use the flashlight while circling the car and looking inside for an intruder. In many instances, a better choice for the second less lethal would be a taser. The combination taser and pepper spray, hopefully, would be enough to handle an assailant not armed with a firearm. My top pick for a second less lethal device would be a launcher. Launchers are repurposed paintball markers designed to shoot pepper balls or solid kinetic projectiles. They will come up as a top choice often, and we will spend several videos delving into them later. Above are some of the more popular models. The woman in the picture faces great potential danger. She doesn't seem to be carrying a handbag or anything else, so robbery is not the motive of the seemingly stalker. She needs to protect herself from great violence of the sexual, kidnapping, or lethal nature, or all of the above. This is certainly a case where a firearm would be very much desired. But, for this channel's purposes, we have assumed that carrying a firearm is not a possible choice. The assailant is likely looking to subdue the woman, then drag her off someplace where he can do his worst. Or if he is of the serial killer type, he might just want to kill her where she stands. The woman doesn't want to get in a close and tussle with the assailant, so a stun gun doesn't fit here. Pepper spray takes several seconds to work and can be overcome by some. This type of predator might have a less lethal themselves, especially a taser or pepper spray. This woman needs to have figured out how to dress with a concealed, carried less lethal launcher. If the man charges, she should draw and fire the entire complement of projectiles, aiming at the crotch, neck, face, and head, although under stress this may be difficult. The minimum is to hit the assailant somewhere, with as many shots as possible, in the short period of time it will take him to close on her. Launchers in principle, with the right power and projectiles, could stop this assailant and have them retreat or succumb to medical needs. Discussions about this type of situation and the possible effectiveness of a less lethal launcher will be covered in future videos. This one is short and sweet. Comply. If the thief gets the bag clean, there is nothing you can do with a less lethal device. You can't shoot at them running away with a launcher. If there is a struggle between the victim and the assailant over possession of the handbag, then pepper spray, stun gun, or even a taser is in play. Getting into a fight in a bar, or anywhere, for that matter, is the quickest road to an assault charge if you use a bottle, chair, most less lethal devices, or any other implement. You will be seen as escalating the situation. If you are not the aggressor, Pepper spray will probably be okay, a stun gun might be, a taser is sketchy, and a launcher will get you arrested and possibly prosecuted. Right now, we are concentrating on personal defense outside of the home. We will visit the domestic scenes soon. In New York City, there are over 60,000 food delivery bike riders, mostly riding electric bikes. There is not an epidemic of e-bike jacking or food delivery jacking yet, but the threat will probably grow. I have heard several reports, here in California, of e-bike jacking. The trend will increase as lawlessness in California increases. What should e-bike commuter or delivery rider carry? I would say quick access to pepper spray. This is also useful against dogs who often like to chase and nip at bike riders. If someone points a gun at you and asks for your bike, you comply. Yes. I know. The bike in the picture is not an e-bike. Shame on me. A road rage incident is probably more likely to happen to the average citizen than a street robbery. You can defend but not escalate. This means pepper spray, or perhaps a stun gun. You can't use a taser or launcher unless the assailant is coming at you with more than their fists. You should stay in the car and let them be the aggressor. If they have a gun, agree with all of their arguments, no matter how irrational, until the police arrive, or you have a chance to get away. If you live in a large urban area, especially on the West Coast, the homeless scene is all too familiar. Generally, they can be passed without incident, but many can become belligerent and aggressive. Even the threat of spitting on you or otherwise harming you justifies a blast of pepper spray. If there are several who you fear might join in, then it is best to just show the pepper spray and try and get across the street. By now you can see why pepper spray is a must. In more dangerous situations, however, we must turn to a taser at the minimum, but desirably to a launcher. Let me get a key point through about pepper spray. This also holds for pepper balls. There is a lag time before it truly incapacitates an individual. If you spray someone and then think you can just run away, know that they will most likely be able to keep attacking, or pursuing you for what will seem like eternity, before it takes full effect and they stop. This is particularly true for pepper balls. You must keep on the move and keep firing until the pepper dust takes effect. Understand, for some people, this will be never, for both pepper spray and pepper balls. The pepper balls, however, at least, have a pain component. This concludes this video on how effective are less lethals. There is a ton of more presentation material to come. The next video release will have links to channels that have some of the best representations of the effectiveness of pepper spray. These will be real-life demonstrations and tests. Thanks for watching. Later.